everybody, welcome into another deck guide with Boneyard Gaming. And got a good one for you here today. A couple side notes. I wasn't able to get into pro rank last month. I actually just wasn't even able to play a lot last month. Which is unfortunate because it wasn't anything against the meta. I'm fine. I'm happy with Gwent right now. I'm enjoying playing the game. Just some other things popped up last month and kind of mid-month this month too that didn't allow me to play a whole lot or stream that much. So I had to fall back all the way to rank 5, unfortunately. So I had to push from 5 to back into pro. It took me about 100 games or so to grind all the way back up. And I used a combination of different lists. But for rank 2 and rank 1, I used a hidden cache list. And I had a lot of fun playing it. I tried to stay away from tier 1 stuff. Didn't want to play Shield Wall, didn't want to play Symbiosis, and didn't want to play Rage of the Sea. So we settled on hidden cache and a lot of good stuff in the list. I feature 4 games. I usually only like to show 3 in the video, but I had a mirror matchup that I wanted to add in well. So we've got Patricidal Fury, we've got Symbiosis, Hidden Cache, and a Monsters Overwhelming Hunger matchup. I think Monsters Overwhelming Hunger. So I wanted to show decks that I thought were better than this deck from a meta standpoint and show you that, hey, this deck can win. I will say this. I beat Patricidal Fury, I think the three times I played it. Because their leader goes tall, I was able to poison it, and a couple different games. I show the most exciting or closest ones. I did 201 and beat the other one pretty handily, but this one was pretty close. But I will say I struggled against Rage of the Sea. And I think just because Rage of the Sea, I tried bleeding it. I tried several different options in my runs against it, and I just didn't have good luck. Maybe you will, but I felt like their beater ability was able to get through my defender pretty quickly, and they were able to just snuff out my engines before they got started. But other than Rage of the Sea, I don't think anything else scared me. I don't think anything else went, oh crap, here we go, this is a bad matchup for me. I felt confident in most everything else, even though sure, we lost some games along the way, but it was a fun list to play. I really enjoyed it. So, we'll get started with the guide here. We on Hidden Cache, we went Crystal Skull over Tiger's Eye, and really it's to keep Lieutenant Von Hurst alive. And he is really your round 1 card. I won in round 3 with him, but you want to put him on the board, you want to click your cache, and then you want to put Crystal Skull on so he can't be locked or stopped, and then, takes above the typical damage to kill, and get him off and rolling. So Passiflora, usually save that for round 3. Oneiromancy, we went with that over Bank. The fact that it's an Echo card and it comes back to you in your list, that's more valuable than the profiting of the Bank as well. So I think keeping spenders in the deck is always important. So Jacques plays well. I don't think he has too much synergy. He's kind of a standalone card, but I think he's still worth including as well. Philippa, probably one of my favorite cards. I think if you think about the coins you spend for a unit, so say you're stealing a longship, you're only paying 4 coins for it, but it's almost like getting 8 points for 4 coins. And then if you can get good cards that give synergy, like a longship that's going to provide damage left over, and then the points just pile up. So anytime you can steal a card, I always feel like it plays for double points. So usually in round 1, I try to play M-Key and Saul next to each other. I feel like they synergize really well. Obviously if you can keep your board up in coins, Sal will pop off, and I usually try to combo those together away from Passiflora, because it takes so long to get Passiflora completely proc that I think you lose value if you're not getting these off early. And the fact that you can protect MK, it makes it, I think, certainly nice to get her maybe as a standalone. So, like I said, great defender against most stuff except for Rage of the Sea. It'll take, you know, unless you're playing NR when they got Falibor or Boiling Oil, it takes most people 2 turns to get past the leader, and so, you know, that's giving you plenty of chance to get your Passiflora off. So obviously, Adreno is the top of your Blind Eyes card. Certainly good. You know, got a lot of value out of Bomb Heaver. I played a little bit of a different list earlier in Hidden Cache that had that had Heat Wave, and I thought Heat Wave just had better value than Bomb Heaver at first because I thought it was multi-purpose. But you know, that's with Oniromancy. You know, unless you know you're playing a card, you don't necessarily have to hold it in your deck. You can go get it. But you know, I think that Bomb Heaver ended up being more valuable because, you know, if you play really, really thin against like an elf deck or something that, you know, you're not heat waving tall cards at some point. So I thought, you know, Bomb Heaver ended up working out better for me. So Mutated Hounds, obviously a big poison package. You know, a lot of poison value. So Mutated Hounds, Fish Tech, and the Fish Tech Trafficker. You know, you're almost always gonna get, you know, removal in poison value. It's just making sure the good value of it. So, you know, we got Passiflora Peaches in there. We've got Sea Jackal for, you know, I think that also goes well with MK for making sure that, you know, you don't have leftover coins. Because we're Hidden Cache, you know, and we're always getting, you know, most of the time we're always going to be at Horde 5, which is actually Horde 3. So that comes down and makes it easier to get damage and coins. And then, like I said, Street Urchin, another spender, but it also profits, so it procs well. I'll provide the meta snapshot list in here as well, in case you want to take a look at that as well. That'll be links in the description. So there's the list. Enjoyed it really well. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like and a subscribe, I stream. Those socials are in my description as well. It'd mean a lot, and really hope you guys enjoyed the guide. Thanks for watching. So game 1 here, and it's a good one. It's against Patricidal Fury here. So looking, obviously we've got Lieutenant in our hand. That's our very happy to see that in round 1. But since we didn't have another poison option, you know, I did kick that. You know, I don't want too many Blind Eyes in my hand, because we don't want to play scenario round 1. That's, like I said, not favorable draws, but I think then we stick with it just because, like I said, winning round 1's possible. I think I have it in my hand in case, hey, I decide to bring it out. I've got it, but man, at all costs, we want to win round 1 without it, and that's why I want to get pretty aggressive. You know, having Saul and MK in our hand. You know, I'm not afraid to use those round 1. I'm not afraid to Philippa round 1. By any means. So it's that quick Hidden Cache.
Have you made
Got your Horde. You're off and rolling. It's a hard card to kind of deal with. But like I said, right there, that's where you want to be. I actually, you know, it's funny. I wanted to be on red coin or blue coin. You know, I was hoping to go first. So he still works to see what he can do to damage it. But right there, Decoction's off the board, and our engine's still alive. So I do like having one blind eye, usually to have more engine value in round 1. So having one is definitely nice, especially because he's playing uninteractive right now. So he does. He's spending all of his energy to come off without any targets. But that's all right. I mean, you know, I feel like this monster or this deck feels like monsters sometimes. Not too worried about what the other side is doing. Just trying to get your engines protected and rolling. You know, the one thing I think, like I said, not ideal right here that we have them in hand, but we have to be prepared to go for a long round. So right there, you know, we know a Neuromancy in our hand. We have no, besides, you know, one other blind eye. We got to be careful about missing out on an opportunity to proc Passiflora, but
we do our best, man.
Taking your risks, taking chances. Now, we've already got a pretty sizable lead. We've gotten, you know, the fact that he spent all of his damage taking care of Lieutenant. We can roll. Yes, that's a cultist. Let's see. Looking at all the things that we missed and how not perfect our hand is. See, you know, this is a good matchup to show that we didn't get a good draw round one. We felt like staying conservative and passing, but we were ahead, and you can see he's got to work to catch up. So, you know, not a bad pass, being that high in points. We didn't love our hand. We came out of the gate pretty strong. So, you know, we are going to get a long round 3 because opponent isn't going to push us too hard in round 2. We've got our poison combo. Still no Neuromancy. Still no Defender, but like I said, we've got still some pretty strong combos in Imki and Saul. Got a poison package. We don't have a discard card either. We feel like, hey, opponent's not pushing us around 2. We led him pretty well in letting him catch up to round 1. We use our hidden cash. So we'll take the win on the round here and essentially head into a long round 3 against Skellige without last say. So not ideal situations here. You know, I think my other games with Patricidal Fury actually went much better than this one, but I felt like highlighting this to kind of showcase some different strengths in the deck and some, you know, not all games are going to go perfect draws. That's why it's nice to be able to adjust strategy. We didn't even get Neuromancy here. I mean, you know, think about that. We didn't get Neuromancy. We don't have Defender. The great thing is, you know, you don't have to usually worry about Skellige running, you know, removal as far as your scenario goes. So that's super nice. You know, really Defender at this point is just to protect your engines from stunning blows so they can get off the ground. You always got to be kind of worried about Morkvarg, so you don't usually want to go too tall with any individual unit. That's why I'm not going Saul and M-Key first, which I have in other games where I've dropped Saul and M-Key right away, defendered up to protect him and let him go. This is always a welcome sight for, you know, him to want to get his Bloodthirst on there. Really nice because, you know, he's given us tall targets to use for our poison. So we know we're getting minimum a 10 off the board. So this is perfect opportunity to use Ming. We're going to get 3 cards here, essentially.
We share the profits, not the work.
And, you know, now it's going to give him a lot of units to be able to single out and take off. It's when they're able to take us down 1 unit at a time that we really, really struggle. That sucker's going to pop off for him. So here it's time to hold on to our final proc on the scenario. We're thinking about that. I still think we do need a spender. Yeah, MP's the better play here. You know, I think that's going to prove to be the best play, especially with all the removal he's got. You know, just getting shield value, getting coin value, so we can shield up is huge. Is huge.
I swear it upon the gods, I will avenge my father.
So, obviously, you know, amazing Philippa value. We don't even spend much time thinking about that. That's, you know, like I said, that's perfect opportunity to say, hey, we spent 4 coins. We took 4 points on our board, off their board. That plays for double. And, oh, by the way, we get 3 damage plus individual proc for not using it. So, you know, that almost commands him try to answer that. But, you know, he spent all of his removal pretty much in round 1. So, you know, placement's important here. You're seeing that I'm placing him, Sal, to the right of M-Key. So her coin, you know, reads front to right, back left to right. So we're procking our coins and then Sal first. That's very important on your placement. Otherwise, you could lose value by not placing that correctly. So we do lose Sal. That's unfortunate, but you know, but at that time, all of our other spenders are rolling pretty nicely. Again, you know, when you have spenders, multiple spenders. So we have 3 total spenders. I know that you're seeing a combination of, you know, different finishers, but you've always got to be ready for Morkvarg. So, you know, that's why it's nice to have multiple spenders to be able to spread them out. So we get Horde there. No, tight game. We're down a card. Trying to figure out what does Mr. Opponent do here. Okay, so yeah, he's got the Baborn for
like fishes.
his Blood Echo. Which, yeah, takes our Philippa out. You really great swords.
I'm great!
So it's about, you know, this is definitely a good time. You know, we've got we still got one proc left on our Passiflora. So, you know, we really got to be careful about not overspending, you know, overdrawing past our horde. So this really makes sense to put a spender on the board that doesn't gain us coins, that allows us to filter coins into. So that was definitely the right play. Got a lot of damage left. Champion charge comes through. Champion charge, oh, it's a doozy. It's certainly a hard card to deal with, but it is nice to know that it's not a card we have to worry about again, you know.
Premium grade won't find
At that point, it's nice to hey, you took a tall unit off our board, we'll retaliate, take a tall unit off your board. So, you know, we're up about 11 with, you know, down a card still. But M-Key is doing work right now. You know, Sol didn't make it, but she's still producing great value. So, out comes Hemdall. Takes care of the shield, which was unfortunate. You know, that's the last ping you would hope for. Like I said, we're waiting to... We want to be able to use the profit still, so obviously this is the perfect part for Jock. Again, it's nice to profit and go wide instead of tall.
Time, sword and axe, the age of the Roman storm is nigh.
We said we're still getting our one proc. I mean, think about that. You know, you see how close this game is? That was huge that we had that proc. Multiple. Plus, we get the 3 damage at the end. So, just managing our coins extremely well. Oh, yeah, you know, you also got to deal with Tigby, which...
A raid's a raid. Matters not.
You know, the one thing I'll mention about Tigby is really, really important. If he targets a card like M-Key or anything you can shield up on, shield up. Shield will block Rapture. So, don't be afraid to... That's worth all the 3 coins you can spend to do that damage. So that Mr. Opponent went smart by not playing into that for us. Look at that, we full profit right back to 9 coins, and then again with the 3rd spender, we're not too high on any one card, so there's no perfect Morkvarg target, even though Morkvarg's gonna get his. So 74 points up there to 57, but a Morkvarg will basically bring that real close.
We'll turn the sea red!
We hang on. So game 2 here, we've got an overwhelming hunger matchup. A very prominent list on the ladder. It's a high tier 2 list, if not a low tier 1 list. I think it's the best list Monsters has right now, and I know you could say Monsters at the bottom with Nilfgaard, which, you know, we handle Nilfgaard fairly easy, really well. So I didn't show any of those matchups, but I wanted a monster matchup because I think this is a powerful deck and worth showing the matchup, especially because we lose round 1. Who he is, he's able to come out and point slam, obviously starting with his Dregalarvas, but, you know, we do have what we want to see in round 1 Lieutenant, but again, we have no way to really protect him. He's only a 5. And I know you could always say, like, gosh, you defender in round 1 to protect maybe like a M key or a Sal or even a lieutenant. And I thought about it, but man, I really just felt like
You got a Symbiosis
Passiflora
swimming in
always
them bridges.
deserved my defender. I did want to maintain, you know, Peaches out just because I knew this was going to be a hard round to dominate in or you know, go long. And so I thought, man, I got to get as many boosts out or engines rolling. So Peaches, in my mind, was a little bit easier to put first there. Especially, you know, if it goes long, we might deal with Rolock. So, Art, you know, I think that's I think that Frost is a powerful card. I really do.
And minds.
Just really doesn't allow your engines to get any traction. You're losing 4 points a turn. That's more than any of my engines make up. So, you know, we do have some shielded units. It's nice to try to put something in there to soak up a little bit of that damage. It's just, he can point us so quick.
He venerates not the fire.
You know, and think about this too. The scary part is he hasn't played much besides his Echo, and honestly, getting Ice Queen out is thinning. So he's only thinned in a solid way right now. So that's not good for us. Again, we're looking at all the cards we wished we had for round 1. You know, like I said, M Key and Sol would have been huge here, but it you know, you could say, well, do I Neuromancy for 1, but we're already too far behind to catch up that we need to be able to, and we know we're going to get bled. At this point, you know, you don't want to commit too much, but try to get some shield on there again to soak up a little bit of that damage.
Worthy neither of mercy nor forgiveness.
And, you know, my thought is this, is that, you know, I don't want to narrow because I need a Neuromancy for round 2 and round 3. So, it's not worth burning that card quite yet. But I am trying to extend the round as much as possible. So, getting a little bit of carryover. So I have, you know, as max coin value I can for the start of round 3. Looks to be my best bet, and you know, he is burning better cards than I am, and he's really over committing a little bit to the round here. So I feel like, hey, he's winning, but I still feel like I'm doing a little bit of the bleeding here. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to lose all that coin. Just trying to stay in the round a little bit. Well, that's right. I ended up committing Neuromancy here. I think you could have made the bet that it was probably good pass last turn, but you know, we got Goliath out of him, so I'm fine with that. You know, it was a good trade. And we're dangerously close for him passing and just realizing that we can't catch up and now we're uneven. So,
remove his cowl, then his ears.
That, you could, I think the pass would have been better a turn before, but we got really lucky that got his Goliath out of him. So, I think it was ended up being a good play. So Bomb Heaver's got to stay in hand. And we know Haunt is going to be a strong position of this deck, so we do secure, you know, we trade a Blind Eye for why did I kick Bomb Heaver here? Is it because I mean I know it's because I had Oneiromancy, but I think I was trying to aggressively yeah, I think he was good. I assumed he would play it round 3 and maybe a short round 3, and that I'd have a chance to keep a Oneiromancy. But I think once I got Passiflora, I was trying to see if he bleeds me too hard, I might need a Blind Eye to proc it. So, but it ended up working out fine. Like I said, maybe some better plays, hindsight on that. But hey, we get the. You wouldn't be watching this right now if we didn't get the dub. So, yeah, this is a good chance where we need to try and stay ahead of the curve without giving up our best stuff. So, unfortunately, there's going to be no long round for Sol to pop off. So, we better get him out early.
What can I say?
We can stay as close to being ahead, but man, card coming out again. Especially because, you know, that's the one thing where it's like, man, you almost got to roast. I should have been a little bit smarter, maybe roast stacked more, but
Nose, mouth.
so yeah, we need coins. So we need to get him back to 7. We need to get Boat out. So really, that was the best thing we could do was get the 3 proc. So at least we were trading 1 up every turn instead of losing value. Yeah, Bruiser. I don't know why. Really don't know why he picked that card. You know, it's just hard. We're at a point, we're down, but there's a lot of stuff that we want to see for round 3. So it's important that we, you know, catch up quickly. And you know, here, I don't want to overspend. We're just really struggling with our decisions. I get why. I mean, really not a great play here. We do. So we lose coin value here. It does suck. You know, that does suck. You know, I don't really see. I get why he took the 1 value there. I mean, obviously saving us from doing any other, you know, getting it back in round 3. Well, it made sense, but obviously didn't add too many points to his side of the board because he had damaged it with Frost. We're just doing enough to try and stay ahead here. There, you know, like I said, I'm not too worried. I haven't seen too much scenario remover from monsters either, so you know, at that point, Defender is our best option. We choose not to do the Spender because it's really not worth it at that point. So we'll spend our coins there. So that way we stay ahead. Like I said, we still keeping, you know, looking good for us to keep Passiflora in hand. He does play his last card, and honestly, that was pretty good for us. We were happy that he did because, you know, look at that. We need 4 points. And we don't want to, we want to have as much value in our bank. Even though we lose carryover, still having as many coins as possible is beneficial here. So, we got a great opportunity to take our boat back.
The object of dark
Actually,
desire.
without spending a whole lot of coins. So, hey, that worked out great for us. It was very important to keep Passiflora. So there we go. See a blind. Oh, boom! Great draws. Those are the, I mean, really, that's a pretty solid hand. Yeah, there's one more card we'd love to see, but you gotta be careful about how greedy you get here. We've got enough to spend. We've got enough to proc Passiflora. You know, you just. And you got M key on there, so you just you got to stick with it. The Voligan's not a good way to go, and especially because we can get boat out again. So we're up a card. You know, we've got a short round 3, but
I consider this my team.
the fact is that to see those fly in your hand right at the beginning and just kind of. You know, you're scared about, hey, I'm completely at the mercy of my draws right now. So do we want to get M key value? We want to
Easy to forget about the isles in your arms.
No need to shield. No, we don't see too much damage value, and Mana Core's not running this list.
Ha! Yet another horn for my collection.
How many sweet drops could I get for a diamond?
Nice as we'll be able to rock. We do want to keep him out of removal range, so that's why I know it was nice to be able to take him to removal range. And look, he had that left was a pretty nice card for him to get, especially because he had to draw it. So the fact that we were able to get everything off was very important. We know that's going to take us right back to 9.
I heard the appeal.
Look at that. We didn't even have to use our hidden cash, which we should have been better and just passed, but we got the So we've got a mirror matchup, and I was going to keep the video to 3 total matchups, but I decided to include the mirror matchup because it was a fun match. I thought it would be good to show, and in fact, I'm excited to be on Blue Coin here. And we've got a Neuromancy, Bomb Heaver, cards we want to see. You know, I know Bomb Heaver's probably not going to get played till round 3 anyways, but it's still just an important card to have. We know we get Lieutenant with our Neuromancy. We're going to be able to protect him from poison, so we're in a strong position. You know, never have I been so happy to be on Blue Coin. But this is one where I think you want Blue Coin. We're going to go ahead and grab Lieutenant.
That's a flower, a quarter of a stick, and a corpse.
So the great thing is we've got poison, so he matches up. Hey, you can't remove our engine, but we can remove your engine.
Meat. We're short on dried meat.
Yes, you! Have you made your offering?
That's actually good to see. We got 3 poisons to get it done.
Remove his cowl, then his ears.
So right where we want to be.
Think you can keep up with the noble lass?
Like I said, we've got our Passiflora pieces as well, so nice to realize that we can get his engine off,
Your offering?
get our boat on. 21-9, we're pacing well. I think last say is going to be important against the mirror matchup.
Marcus takes purest tears, purest in all.
I said, I mean, yeah, you can poison, but no worries. So our Tide Cloakers obviously could hit right off the Fire Zealot, take a card off. I mean, but because we've got Horde, we know we can damage whatever. We're getting 2 points of damage regardless, so it doesn't matter what we hit. But yeah, like I said, we know we're gonna lose coins from over profiting next round anyway, so might as well use some spenders. Stay at 7. So again, I mean, he's really only got a 4 poison value there. He gets bowed out. He does have his engine rolling, you know, but our engine's rolling much stronger. But so, like I said, I don't want to overprofit too much.
Sometimes.
So it'd be nice to, like I said, you get that 3 proc value out of it. And
You are worthy neither of mercy nor forgiveness.
yeah, we went out to a strong round 1. And I don't feel like we burned too many cards. You know, once he decided to bow out of the route and started kind of playing garbage, I don't think we really overcommitted too much either. Good to see Oneromancy come back in. Know that we've got scenario proc, but we really want Defender. There we go. That's certainly nice. You know, I think you can push. You know, we've 2-0'd people with this list. I think there's certain opportunities where, you know, given the right things, you could certainly push. But since I have Oneromancy in my hand, I think it's worth just playing 1 card, getting some profit, and allowing for some carryover. So, you know, I think that was nice.
How many sweet rolls could I get for a diamond?
He was going to be able to proc his cash anyways, so I don't think I think dropping a card to deal with just some extra coin was always gonna be nice. So you know, an exciting matchup here, and a full round of cards in what I think is a very strong round 3 from these decks. So, you know, I was very excited about heading into this matchup. Philippa, certainly a great card. We're dealing with what can we grab via our Oneromancy. That, you know, we have 2 targets, but we got to leave Bomb Heaver in hand. We do have full poison value. So, you know, I'd love Jock. I'd love Sal. But to me, you know, it's just not worth risking any more draws here. And we get one of them out of Oneromancy. Chances of us getting both are slim. So let's stick with it. So he doesn't Defender for Bomb Heaver. Like I said, that was a big fear of mine that he was going to be able to Defender and get rid of mine. Or stop me from using mine. We get that taken off the board, but we have Defender. So he's going to have to work to take ours out. And that's a big play. I think he either didn't draw his Azar. His deck's a little bit different than mine, so he either doesn't draw it or doesn't have it. But MVP is all the way for us having Defender. You can see, I mean, he's... And he's so concerned about getting engines rolling. I don't think he knows what we're trying to use Defender for. But he's gonna. I mean, the thing is he has to. It's always going to take a card for him to get around it. So he's got to come out and purify. So he's going to waste 2 coins to purify, which again he's going to get his bomb heaver out. But we still managed to get 1 more engine out of our scenario than he did before it gets removed here. So, you know, at that point, yeah, we lose 6 coins,
Fish
but
stick for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's the dream.
well worth it.
Consider this my tea.
So out comes the bomb heaver and goodbye scenario. Got a good lead over us. Yeah, M-Key's definitely now is the time to play her.
Easy to forget about the Isles in my arms.
So here comes his morale. And see, he's got to purify. He's got to purify. I'm struggling on how to poison him. So, hey, how do you beat a purify? Well, you poison twice in a turn. And that's what morale is good for doing. So, you know, at that point, I cannot pass up the morale for a Philippa target. And now it's going to allow me to get a poison off in a single turn and allow me to use my second poison to profit coins. So, you know, good. And then there's a chance that he doesn't have the second poison to keep my engine on the board. He does have it, but, you know, at that point you don't know, so it was worth it. And then maybe he's only got 1 more poison, and, you know, we do save an engine by getting it and secure engine removal ourselves. So really, really good. Now, he could... I don't see too much removal in the deck, so I really did kind of get a little gutsy and decide that I didn't think that he was going to be able to remove it. So, you know, at this point, you're looking at what you should get. Sal, it's just too late in the game to really see value out of him. So we did. We went Jock instead. You know, go out wide. The M-Key's still doing work. I think he gets his M-Key on the board way too late. He doesn't have a spender yet. You gotta assume one's coming. We're a little late getting our peaches on the board, but you know, once the fender went off there, we got 1 extra engine. We had enough rolling that wasn't too worried. But there comes his spender. That's why we're waiting on poison. We don't know what the best target is. We have final say, so yeah. Spread yourself out, but we get the option of what we remove. We know we're getting a 12 or a 10, a 13 or 13, so you know that's our options right there. We know that we can go ahead and poison ourselves here. Take the coin value. We technically don't even have our boat out yet.
How's you doing business with you?
Now, I poisoned the Philippa. I mean, I don't recommend that. I would have poisoned one of the defender bugs, but you know, forgive me. So we're equal here. So there comes his last say, but we're gonna get equal removal. He's only has one spender. He can't spread himself out. There comes our final removal.
Nose, mouth, any hole will do.
And then all the way to full proc, so got him. So for the final game here, I wanted to show Symbiosis list. You know, like I said, I wanted to show matchups that I think ranked tier higher than our deck did, and show you that you know, this deck can fight with them. So you know, here we go. We're looking for, you know, and like I said, you can find that based on the draws, each one of these games, we just have to kind of roll with the punches and different strategies. So, you know, obviously not being on red coin, you know, but gosh, Symbiosis can come out of the gate fast. I mean, dang, they can really slam some points in a few cards at the beginning of the game and at the end of the game. So, you know, obviously, I consider, I know he's going hard. I got to deal with Gore. Do I slam Passiflora round 1? But I just decide not to do it. And the other dangerous thing is they've got so much removal. So I just kind of want to just feel it out a little bit. And protect my engines.
And receive the gift of life.
You know, let's just get Defender out and let's make him waste, you know, rebukes on 1-point cards. You know, that's the one thing I'll say is you usually in these lists you see Heatwave. So it was a tough decision to make it, but I feel like I need Saul and Emkey to be my round 1 protector, and they will never get off the ground.
Beautiful. What can I say?
You know, if I don't protect them up. But he just comes out of the gate firing. We've got to keep pace, so we need coins to do it. But we're dangerously quickly approaching, getting taken over quick. So. Said playing Emkey to the left, Saul to the right. Let the Reed proc our coins, and then Saul. Big deal there. So he hasn't got around our defenders yet. So now, you know, like I said, we're down 9, and he's getting 2 points a turn. But, you know, at 7 cards, we don't have to be worried about if we go down too much. You know, we can just pass, and we just don't want to have to use too much. But, yeah, I'm trying to do the math here. So we have to realize, though, that we play a card, get a proc, pass, get a proc. So that's 6. Well, that'd be technically... Yeah, we take the profit. Play that down so that we know that... Yeah, so with both coming out... Like I said, now we know that we get a 3 proc. We don't have to play another card. And we got max coins. So like I said, Emkey, Sal, really, I think, you know, I think they want to push more than that. But he didn't want to spend his rebukes to get around our defender. So, you know, I think he just bailed out of that round pretty quickly, which was good for us. You know, I'll tell you what. Because he gets out of that round and we're on high cards, I mean... You know, you have the option to push or you know, push a little bit, maybe thin. You know, there's no point in not getting as many cards out of the.
We do our best angling.
I thought, I think my thought was that even though that didn't damage a card because we were at Horde, that I would still get the coin value, and you don't. You know, it has to damage a card to be able to get coin value. FYI.
Oh, I'm feeling sleepy.
Learned that the hard way. I was
Don't
pretty sure
be
I wasn't
bashful.
sure when I played that first. But at the same point, it was still the best card to play. So since I have 2 poison value, again, I just want max coins for carryover. Even though, like I said, I know we lose coins. You know, getting Novigrad Justice out. You know, I don't want to bleed too much. He's thinning. I think we're both setting ourselves up for
We'll put Mahakam boots to Imperial arses.
we're setting ourselves up for a long round 3, but I like my hand. No defender to do it, but we'll survive. So, too many spenders, too many poisons here. Yeah, and there's some cards we need in our deck. Getting Onero was huge because we want Jaquez. We obviously, you saw we had to fight with him. I'm sorry, Lieutenant. We had to fight with him without round 1. So that sucked. Because I'm probably going to say that I got a little lucky here. Because I had to Philippa that.
The object
You know, and I thought, man, that's going to be a long round. It's going to play for 7. It's going to heal itself. So I played it. And the fact that baits out his heat wave was lucky. But, you know, that would not have been possible if we didn't have max carryover. So, coin carryover was so huge right here. And so, say he does take out Scenario with this heat wave, you know, which I think that would have been the better play. Certainly, if I were on his side, you know, you're playing hidden cash, you gotta know. And I set myself up for a long round 3. You gotta know Scenario's coming. But he probably thinks he can. He hasn't done too many rebukes. I think he probably feels good. You know, you get three. You can play 3 rebukes in a round with. So, you know, certainly, maybe he's like, screw Scenario popping off. I'll just rebuke it and set it off. So, you know, I guess you could say that maybe heat waving Tenant Bore was the cleaner option. The sucky part here, though, is we don't have, you know, to steal that, we unfortunately don't have Horde value. So that really sucks right there. We've got to get Horde value because we need that for, you know, we need that for Jaquez, or not Jaquez, we need that for Lieutenant. There's a lot of reason why we need it, so...
Wind whistles, Willow's whip. Any diamonds for little old me?
So we did. We had to proc our Scenario ASAP to get our cards rolling. Okay, he's getting full rebuke value. Our engines aren't taking off quite like we'd hope, but now that we've been able to profit, we can spend for
World in me hands.
another one.
Sleep, my champion. Rest now.
We're holding our poisons. We want to see how tall he's going to go, and we want to bait. I mean, they carry a lot of purifies in their deck, so it is good to maybe not let all those purifies pop off. There it goes. I mean, he gets full review. You know, I think that's exactly why you can see he took time to make his decision on the heat wave. But I think he looked at all the rebukes he had and he was like, screw, I ain't scared of Passiflora popping off. And he really does manage it for the most part. But yeah, this is now we got horde value. We absolutely gotta get. I think there's enough cards in the game, or enough, you know, turns we left to play that I thought he's gonna play for more value than Jacques was. So I just thought you know, we're struggling on coins anyways. The spenders really aren't doing us that much favor.
No mercy!
So my guess too is because we baited all of his rebukes out. You know, he doesn't have a lot of purify, but that's why I've got to wait. Because the moment if one of those poisons gets purified, we're done.
Just yet, but I do what I must. Racists.
He's keeping pace with us pretty well.
I only loot corpses. Except sometimes
Fortunately, you know,
they're quite fresh.
Lieutenant's the only one getting work done because, just unfortunately, the great thing is he's used up all of his leader. He's got one card left. We know what that card is, and so at that point, we know we can poison whatever we want. So we feel pretty safe at that point.
Yes, you.
Think about that. I
You
mean,
made your
you know, it's
offering.
still a close game, but our gourd, you know, is going to play big, but we're still getting solid points a turn. Obviously, because it wasn't a long round 2, he just doesn't get it. So that'll secure us the win there. That's the deck, guys. Thanks for watching. If you do like it, please like and subscribe.